How is everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. I know that this is a little bit strange for me. This is the start of my Thursday WIP and Chat video. We're starting in the kitchen, finally. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update and show you what's all been going on with the kitchen and how well the renovation's coming, and just show you around a little bit. But I also wanted to show you my I have a few finishes this week, but my most proudest finish that I have this week is my new sweater. What do you think? How did I do? I think I did pretty well. So this is the first garment I've ever made, and I varied from the pattern a little bit. It was supposed to have a really wide thing that actually, the width of this bottom part here was supposed to go along the edge and then up around your neck. I didn't care for it, so I didn't do that part, but I do feel like it looks a little unfinished here on the edges. So I do think I'm going to incorporate something. I'm either going to do like a couple rows of single crochet just as a finished edge, or maybe I'll take this bottom ribbing and maybe make it a little bit more narrow and put that up along the edge, kind of modify it a little bit. But I just wanted to show you how it turned out. So what do you think? I love it. So I'm going to grab the camera real quick. I don't know if I can do that and not pause you. I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, now we can take a quick tour before we go into the craft room. So here's where the kitchen starts. That's our back room. That's Duke. Here's where the kitchen starts, and the back door, well, that's the back door, but we have another door back there behind the stove that kind of goes to the garage and the mudroom. But here's the beautiful granite countertops. They turned out great, love them. And then the cupboards and the apron sink that we got, love it. And our new dishwasher, old fridge, you can tell it's old by, you know, it's just old. And new microwave, but it's just a little guy that would fit in the corner. And the reason we did that is because above the stove and not installed yet, Jeff's actually going to work on it today, I think, we have a stainless range hood that's going to go over the stove. So that'll be nice. And we also, I'm going to try not to glare you, did recessed lighting in the ceiling. Jeff did that. We used to have a big chandelier that came down. He still has to trim out the window there, put the trim around the window, and then obviously we still have to paint. So those are things, the three things that have left to be done, but it's coming along and it's looking good. So I will let you guys go and I'll meet back up with you in the craft room. All right. Okay, I'm back and I'm more comfortable now. I'm here in the craft room where we normally are when we do our WIP and Chats. So I will feel a lot more comfortable, and we can do all of the things that we normally do on a Thursday. So today, as always, we'll start with what I've done this week. In addition to making the sweater that I was wearing that I just showed you, I also made another sweater using the same yarn and the same pattern. Again, I'm going to add some ribbing here to the sides, to the openings, so it closes it up a little bit and gives it more of a finished edge. I made this one, what had happened was I made my sweater, and my daughter Emily came over and I showed it to her and she loved it, and I had tons of yarn left over. I don't know what I was estimating for when I bought that yarn, but it only took about a little more than 4 skeins of yarn because they're big cakes. I'll show you what I used. And she wanted one, so I made another one for her, and then Maddie saw it when I called her. I showed her, and she wanted one, so now I'm going to make another one for Maddie. I did this with Karen Tea Cakes. It's a size 6, super bulky, and the colorway that I chose was Underbrush. There's tons of different colorways, and these are on clearance at Michael's for $5 a cake. And there are, let me see, 204 yards per cake, which for a super bulky, and it's an 80-20, 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. So it's a really, really nice yarn. I really love it. And I thought that was quite a bargain. So I did do 2 of these sweaters this week. And then I also did a third with a different kind of yarn. But I'm not quite finished with it yet. I have this Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick in the color, which is also a size 6 super bulky, so I'm using the same pattern. This is the color Coney Island. And isn't it fun? I just love, love, love the color of this. So this is one of the sleeves. In this one, I had to learn how. I'm pretty proud of myself with this pattern. This is the first thing first of all, it's the first garment I've ever made. Second of all, it's the first thing I've ever made that I followed a written pattern. Usually I watch YouTube videos to learn how to do my crochet patterns. So I was proud of myself that I was able to follow the pattern written, and also, this is the first time I made something in pieces that I had to then sew together. Now, they recommended in the pattern, they said to sew this together. I didn't do that. I chose to slip stitch my pieces together. So like this is the back of the one that I'm making right now, and this is one of the front panels, and you can see that it has like a little cutout for the arm, where the arms are going to go. So when you put this together, they wanted you to just sew the seams, and I chose to do it in a slip stitch, and then you put your arms on like so, and there you go. And then, you know, sew it up. And I liked it better that way. I don't know. I feel like it's more sturdy or something with a slip stitch. And I don't know. I feel more comfortable with it that way. But that is the third sweater I've made this week. So I just got to put it together and do that bottom ribbing and then do the side ribbing, and then so I've got maybe 3 more hours of work to do in this, and then I'll be finished. Now the thing that started this whole sweater thing off was Mindy and I were actually talking about making a sweater together, and it was the pattern that she had forwarded to me that we both liked was using a size 5 bulky weight yarn, and it is done in a different way. It is done so so this is the start of it. So this is the one of the front panels. This is the start of the back panel, and you do it all in one piece rather than sewing the seams like I did on that other pattern. This is going to be, the side seams are going to already, you know, be there, and then this slit is where you're going to put your arms, is your hole for your arms. So you'll just have to sew at the end and sew your arms on. So it's worked up a little bit differently, and it's a different stitch pattern too. It's a little bit tighter of a weave. Now, I don't love this yarn. I love the yarn itself, but I don't love the color of it. So I feel like this blanket is going to be, this sweater is going to be one that I probably wear heavily around the house. But I probably won't wear it out much just because I just don't love the colors that they chose. This is Buttercream brand. It's a Joann's manufactured brand. And it is, what is the color called? Coral Multi. And to me, it looks like pink camo, the way it's turning out on the sewn up, you know. In the skein, it doesn't really look that way, but as it's crocheting up, it kind of looks like pink camo, and I don't know, which is fine, but that's just not usually my jam. So, but it is very soft, very nice yarn, and that's how far I've gotten in that. And I also have about half a sleeve done because I get bored doing just like the same thing. This is a really simple stitch pattern, and I was getting bored with it, so I started on a sleeve just so I would have a little bit of something different to work on. So that's what I've done with crochet this week. I also started, oh no, I'm not done with what I've done with crochet this week. Let's talk about that a little bit. So I went down to see Mindy on Tuesday. I went down, we met at her house, and then we went out to lunch in a little downtown restaurant. And then we went to a local yarn shop, a specialty yarn shop. It was the first time I had ever been to a specialty yarn shop, the first time I had ever looked at or purchased fancy yarn. And when I say fancy yarn, they had some fancy yarn, and I got some really good stuff. So I just want to show you a little bit, show you my haul for a second. And you know, in Mindy's live, we were talking about fuzzy pom-poms. I don't know if anybody remembers that or was there. But these are the fuzzy pom-poms I was talking about, or Mindy was talking about, and I kind of knew what she meant. They're like faux fur fuzzy pom-poms, not the kind that you make with yarn. So I got this fuzzy pom-pom to go on top of my hat that I'm going to make. And it's kind of nice because it secures with a snap rather than sewing it on. So you could take it off if you wanted to throw your hat in the wash, which is a nice feature rather than having it, you know, tied on through the top of the hat. So what else? What did I get? I got this. It's called Luscious Llama. I got 2 hanks of this. It was one of their sale yarns, and it was on sale for $21 a hank. And there are 109 yards per hank of this. So it was very expensive, but this is 100% baby llama, pure baby llama. Yeah, and it is so incredibly soft, you wouldn't believe it. And I got 2 hanks of that, and I already worked up one of them into the beginnings of a scarf. And let me just show you what that looks like. I actually started this twice. I started with a different pattern, scarf pattern. And I didn't care for the complexity of it really wasn't showing off the shininess of the yarn, and I wanted to show that off. So I switched patterns, I unraveled it all, I switched patterns, and I went to this pattern. And I think that this really shows it off a little bit more, the shininess and the niceness of the yarn. So I'm liking that a lot more. And you know, it's going to be, I'm going to have plenty enough yarn to get a plenty nice and long scarf and to put some fringe at the end. So I'm happy that I got 2 of them because one wouldn't have been enough by far. So I got those 2 things. And then as a little matcher, I got some other specialty yarn to make a hat. And I did start making that hat. Now this yarn is called, I kept the thing so I could show you, Adelaide. It's from Adelaide Fiber Company. It's called Good Old Days. And it's an 85% merino, 15% nylon, 76 yard hank. And this is as far as I got with my hat. So I did not have enough to finish a hat with just one. They did give us, the lady there was really, really nice. She did give us the card, her card that has their website, and I'll just show you that because it was a really nice store, and they do sell online. So if you want to check them out, they do have some really beautiful yarns there. And if you're in Michigan, that might be someplace you want to go to. But I'm going to get a hold of her and get a second hank of this so I can finish the hat because, look, it's going to match my scarf. I mean, not the stitch pattern, but the colors are going to go well together. And so that's what this fuzzy ball is going to be for the top of this hat when I finish it. Won't that look great? Yes, I love it. I love, love, love it. And this is really nice. It's like, I don't know quite how to describe it. I'm going to try to get a close-up of it. It's spun yarn, but it's not braided. It's just a really tight twist. And look at all those different fun colors in there. Isn't that just really pretty? Yeah, very, very pretty. So I had started this scarf with a matching stitch pattern to go with the hat, but like I said, it was just too busy of a stitch pattern and it just didn't do the yarn justice, I don't think. Then the other thing that I got when we were there is something that I've been wanting to try. I picked up one of these driftwood hooks. So this is Like brand or Likey or Licky, L-Y-K-K-E. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But it is a driftwood birch crochet hook. And let me tell you, I wouldn't have thought, I'm one of the people who I'm like, a hook is a hook is a hook. No, a hook is not a hook is not a hook. This sucker is so slippery and so just smooth to work with. So I wish I had had more money and I could have gotten a few more sizes, but I'm gonna probably be in the market for some more of these because I really like the way it feels. So that was my haul from the yarn store. What was it called? The name of the place again? The Yarn Barn, I think. I should tell you that, huh? Yeah, no, Yarn Garden. So it's called Yarn Garden. And their website is yarngardenmichigan.com if you want to check them out. All right, so that's it for yarny stuff. I did also start a new craft this week. I can tell you about it, but I can't show it to you because I'm making it as a gift for someone who regularly watches my channel. So it is a latch hook pillow kit. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really easy and really relaxing, and I don't have to concentrate too much on it. And I'm having a good time with it. So that is something else that I'm working on. So let's move on to diamond paintings. We got to get through what I've done this week so we can start talking about, normal BS. I've been continuing to work on Protege from Diamond Art Club by Dimitra Milan, and it's looking fabulous. I'm loving all of these colors. What you can't see up here is the fox's head and her face. You're seeing bits of her hair come down and this rose and part of the fox's body right here. And I don't have my drills in here, so I can't show you the big schematic, but I can show you the little schematic that's on so you can, in case you're not familiar with the painting, you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. But this has been so nice to work with, to have something with some color differences, because the one I'm working on for Rest, Relax, and Enjoy the View is so much blue and dark colors that I find that I get a little bit blued out, so I can grab this one and work on it for a couple hours and get some different color scheme in my life. This one has 60 colors, so it's a lot of colors. And these are the new DAC round drills, and I'm not going to harp on it. I know I've already said it. I don't love them. I don't love them, but whatever. Some people, everybody has their own opinion about the kind of drills they like. Now, the other one I've been working on, and I got this much done, so I've gotten 6 sections done on this, is my Dreamer design. And it is the Orange Crush by Alyssa Carl, I'm not sure, I can't read it from here. But I've gotten 6 sections done of this. Now, I am loving these drills. These are the kind of drills I like. This is also a round drill kit. It also has 60 colors, and I'm just starting to get up into the color parts of it. Doing down here was a little bit boring, but now that I'm getting up into the colored part of it, it's getting a little bit more interesting. So I'm excited to continue working and getting up into those really pretty florals up there at the top. But I have to start at the bottom. It's just how I am. I can't help myself. Yeah, I've got another section. Well, no, I've got a little bit of, my next section, I'll have some more color in there too. So that's where I am with that. So I've gotten quite a bit done on that in just a week. I think I've done pretty well on it. And then, of course, I've also still been working on my mystery kit from Diamond Art Club by Enes Guerrero. That has been a bugger to work on. It kind of does my eyes buggy, those symbols with just a white background. And then it is a little bit annoying, the fact that because the background of every symbol is white and the drills don't fit. I mean, they're nice and tight, don't get me wrong. For the average diamond painting, it'd be fine. But because the background is white, you can kind of see the background. And I'm a sloppy drill placer, so my margins are all uneven, you know what I mean? So you can see kind of spaces in between the drills, and that's kind of driving me nuts too. And I'm not sure that I love the image. I love Enes Guerrero, but if anybody out there is working on that mystery kit, I'm not sure that I love that image. It's a little bit weird so far. Tell me if you agree or disagree if you're working on it. You know what I'm going to do, you guys, before we get started on working on this and talking about things that are going on, let's go ahead and talk about the event and get the event situation out of the way. All the event info that I want to talk about. And the event that I'm referring to is for January. I'm co-hosting with Mindy, Rest, Relax, and Enjoy the View. It's our land. We're focusing on landscapes, 40 by 50 or larger. If you haven't joined in and you'd still like to, feel free to. This is a Facebook event. So in the Mindy's Facebook group, Diamond Moments and Crafts, there is a post that you can post your start and progress pictures, one for each week. And there are going to be, for each week, an extra credit point that you can earn towards the grand prizes. You can also enter to win our weekly prizes, which I'm going to announce my weekly prize in just a minute. But the extra credit for this week, last week Mindy got to choose what the extra credit question was going to be. And her question was, what would you be drinking at your place where you're resting and relaxing and enjoying the view? So this week it's my turn to come up with a question. And my question for you to earn an extra entry for the grand prizes, yes, grand prizes plural. We're giving away 2 gift cards and canvas, a Diamond Art Club, the Shepherd's Cottage canvas. That will be given away on Mindy's Live on February 5th, Saturday, February 5th. So to get an extra credit entry into for that drawing, you'll have to answer my question this week, and that is going to be, what would be the #1 song that would be on your playlist at your Rest, Relax, and Enjoy the View? While you're out there resting and relaxing, what is the #1 song on your playlist and why? Why that song? I am a huge, huge music buff, love music, and it's a big, big part of my life. And that's what I want to know. I want to know what music would you all be listening to out there while you're enjoying the view. All right, so Mindy will have that in a separate post. If you comment on that post with your answer, you will get an extra credit point towards the grand prizes. So I hope you guys will all do that. Next thing I want to talk about is, this is my week to announce my prize for our weekly giveaways. We will be alternating weeks to give away a prize. Mindy gave hers away yesterday in her WIP and Chat, and today I'll be announcing mine, and I will be giving mine away to next week in my WIP and Chat. So you're going to have some choices to make if you win my giveaway. I couldn't decide. I guess I gathered up a few of my favorite things, and I couldn't decide, so I'm going to make you make a choice. There are 2 things actually 3 things, but this is just a little extra. For sure that you're going to get in my prize. You are going to get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 rolls of landscapey washi tape. They all have different landscape adventures on them. Each of them do. And you're also going to get this awesome bumblebee cover minder from Cover Minders Shaban on Etsy. Love her stuff. It's the only place I shop for cover minders. Well, I did buy from the Uncrafty Crafter, I think, a couple of times, but that's different because she's got kind of a specialty item. But I love Shaban's cover minders. They're just so beautiful. So I figured in almost everybody's, unless you've got a winter scene, in almost everybody's landscape, you're probably going to have a bumblebee flying around there somewhere. So you'll get those 2 things. Then, and then also I'm going to throw in, I have just a little package of butter yellow ABs. Then you're going to need to choose. I'm going to give you the choice between these 3 things. You can either choose a Craftmates Lockables, which these are storage containers. They have 56 grids and they come in this nice purple binder, and they're one of my very favorite storage containers. Or this Diamond Art Club pen in this Rainforest Swirl color, or a tin of Patty Wax Super Sticky. So those are 3 of my favorite diamond painting accessory type things, and I'll let you choose which of those 3 things you would like with your cover minder and washi tape. So if you win, that's what your prize is going to be. And you will have to choose. So in order to be eligible to win this prize, I will announce it on next Thursday's WIP and Chat, which will be January 20th, correct? Because today's the 13th, so 7 days from today. So I'll be choosing a winner. I will close the comments on midnight next Wednesday, and I will choose the winner on Thursday during my WIP and Chat. And to be eligible to win that prize, all you have to do is comment on this video and tell me what you're working on, what landscape you're working on. Just to make sure that it's somebody who's actually participating in the event that wins. I think that that would only be fair. I think everybody would agree with that. So just comment on this video and tell me what you're doing or what you're working on for the event, and it will be yours. It could be yours if your name gets pulled. So now we can finally get to diamond painting. We're only, what, 23 minutes in, and I'm finally getting out my diamond painting? Yeah, that's a typical Angie way to do things, isn't it? So again, I'm working on Evening Melodies by Abraham Hunter. It's 93 by 70. It only has 31 colors, which is kind of nice to not have to be switching colors all the time. But it's very dark and very blue. I just did the most interesting section with 2 sections. The most interesting 2 sections were these 2 right here, and I'm already done with them. So got a lot of blue waiting for me. There's a little bit more interest up there, but there's a lot of blue to come. A lot of blue to come. So let me find a drill type. And these that I'm using, in case you're not familiar with the Craftmates Lockables, this is what they look like when they're out of the binder. And they're really nice because you just push this button and the things snap open and snap close. And you can throw these things against a wall and they won't spill. So they're one of my very, very favorite drill storage containers. All right, so whew, now that all that business is taken care of, I finally feel like I can relax a little bit and just chit chat. So today's Thursday. Let's talk about our week. What did I do last weekend? I don't think I did jack shit. I honestly didn't do anything. I didn't take the Christmas tree down yet. I still haven't taken the Christmas tree down. Yeah, oh well, it'll happen. It's probably not going to come down today either. I haven't been feeling very well. I've been having some female issues, and I just have been just feeling just kind of blah and like I need to rest. And then I know that this is going to sound really silly, but going on my little trip Tuesday down to see Mindy, it's about an hour and a half drive from driveway to driveway from my house to hers. And just doing that little bit of driving and then walking around and shopping. We went to Walmart too. We both got some yarn at Walmart as well. So we went to the expensive yarn store and then we went to the cheapest yarn store. So that was kind of nice. I was able to pick up one last skein of what I needed for that multicolored sweater that I showed you that I haven't put together yet. So I got really lucky with that because I really needed one more skein and they didn't have any at Joann. So I got very lucky that they had it there. And it was just a fluke that they did. I didn't even know they sold that brand or that type. But Mindy was looking for Premier Puzzle yarn. And so we found, they had all kinds of it. They have such a nicer Walmart than what we have here in Saginaw. And I have found that to be true with just about every craft store. Saginaw does not have the size or the selection of a lot of other places. So, like, I'm a skein short to do 3 sweaters out of that yarn that I already did 2 sweaters out of. And I told you both girls want one. So I'm going to be 1 skein short, or one cake short rather, and they don't have any in any store near me, but they do have it available in multiple stores down by Maddie. So I've got her on. I found a store, Allen Park store had a bunch of them. So she's going to go there and pick. Actually, correction, she's not going to do it. Austin, her boyfriend, is going to do it because I've got news. This is terrible news. Anyway, I'll get there in a minute. So anyway, just from that day of shopping, which really wasn't that strenuous, it's not like we were on our feet for hours or anything, but just from that day of shopping, I was sore. I'm just not feeling up to snuff. So the tree is not coming down today. Maybe it'll come down tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see, because there's some other stuff that has arisen in my life. Some other things that are going on that came up kind of suddenly and that are kind of changing my plans for the week. So today's Thursday, and Nate came home from school yesterday, and he wanted to go to Barnes & Noble. He's really into, I don't know how you say, is it manga or manja? I'm not sure how you say it. But it's like I believe it's like Japanese cartoons. And these books that he's into are, they're called JoJo's. And he wanted to go see if he had heard that they had quite a few of them there. And he wanted to go check out the selection. And he had some money left over from Christmas that he hadn't spent. So he came home from school and asked if I would take him to Barnes & Noble to look at their selection of books. So I said, of course I will. And we hopped in the car, and it's about a 25-minute drive from our house to Barnes & Noble. So we got there, and he found what he wanted, and we were just browsing around at other things. And he ended up finding another book. It was a really great deal. It was in with the Barnes & Noble classics, like how they have, like Alice in Wonderland and, Jane Eyre and Pride and Prejudice and, Huckleberry Finn, like the classics that they sell like under the Barnes & Noble brand or whatever. But it was Greek Gods and Heroes. And it was a very, very nice hardcover book, illustrated and everything, for only $25. And he is quite bulky, and he is studying the Greek gods in school apparently, and is very interested in them, so he picked up that book also. So I was so happy that he is interested in something that he's learning about in school. It's to the extent that he wanted to, with his own money, no less, buy an extra book about them. So that was a good purchase. I was glad that he made. But anyway, he's found his manga or manja books. I don't know. Somebody will tell me how you say it. I'm sure somebody knows. He found those books, and then he got that Greek Gods and Heroes book. And we were out of there, and we got home, and we were home probably no more than an hour. And he came out and he said, "Mom, I don't feel good." And he didn't look good. He's a very healthy kid. He rarely gets sick. So I didn't, I just said, well, take it easy, go lay down. I said, what's wrong? He said he had a headache. So he went and he laid down for a little while. Well, he has a horrible fever. He has a horrible headache, and he has body aches all over his body. So yes, I'm afeared that he may have the virus. So he did not go to school today, and because of Jeff's job and working with the public and whatnot, just to be on the safe side, Jeff didn't go to work today either. Jeff took Nate down to the health department this morning to do a test. Unfortunately, where we live, there's not anywhere that does rapid response tests. As far as instant response tests, they're all 1 to 2 day wait for your results. So we won't find out until for 1 to 2 days from today what his results are, which means that he can't go back to school until we get those results. And he had a horrible night last night, just up and just not feeling well at all. He's been in bed so far all day today. I've given him Motrin for his fever. It has brought it down a little bit, but it comes right back as soon as the Motrin starts to wear off. So we're dealing with that. And then I got a call late last night from Maddie, and guess what? She just tested positive yesterday. So now I potentially have 2 kids that are, I mean, granted, Madeline's an adult and lives on her own. It's not somebody I have to take care of, but still it's something to worry about. So please keep us in your thoughts and send us good vibes that hopefully Nate just has a cold or something else, or if it is that he, you know, gets over it fairly quickly and without complication. It's just got me just tremendously worried. I was up all night last night. I couldn't sleep. I just kept going and checking on him, and I just was just so worried all night about him. Because like I said, he's not a kid who gets sick easily. He's a very healthy dude. So I'm worried about him, and I'm worried about Maddie now. And then I'm worried about myself because I do have a compromised immune system. So I'm worried about getting it myself. You know, we've all been vaccinated, so it's not as if, you know, Maddie even, we haven't had boosters yet, but Maddie even has had her booster, and she still tested positive. So I don't know. You never know. You never know what can happen. I don't think that you should feel like you're invincible or immune just because you have, you know, your vaccine and your booster. But I don't want to talk about that too much because that can be kind of a, I also respect, I'm a person, I respect individual rights. And for whatever reason you've chosen that you don't want to get it, the vaccine, more power to you. I'm not one of those people who's going to guilt you about it or try to persuade a person to do it. I think that you are independent and you have your own brain, and this is a free country. And if you have decided that for whatever reason that's not what is in your own best interest, then I respect that. So I'm not going to, you know, harp on people to do what I did because I made a choice. You know, you can make your own dang choice. All right, that's all I got to say about that. I respect everybody's individual choice is what I'm trying to say. But that's the situation that we're in right now. So I've got Nate home from school, and I've got Jeff home from work, and he was actually talking about putting up that range hood today. So maybe that'll happen today. That would be nice. He wants to here's the hold up with that is he wants to paint first because the room hasn't been painted yet, but he hates painting. So he's procrastinating on the painting, so therefore the range hood isn't getting up yet. But he needs to just pull the trigger, bite the bullet, and do the painting. He just doesn't think he does a good job. And I think he does an absolutely fine job. He has painted, you know, a lot of our house, and I think he does a just fine job. Let's put it this way, I've seen people who've done worse. So he does it just fine and dandy for me. But I hope you guys liked that little tour of the kitchen. It's not much. I mean, we're not rich or anything. We don't live in a mansion, but you know, we're pretty proud of it. It was fun to, you know, get new cabinets and everything, and new countertops. Not everybody can do that, so I feel lucky that we were able to do that, even if we, you know, went about it a little bit economically. But anywho, what else is going on? So I talked about, I'm sorry, the only thing on my mind is that darn test today. I'm preoccupied with that. And I'm also preoccupied with, I don't want Nate missing too much school because then he falls behind so easily. It's going to be hard for him to catch up. He's not good at working independently. And yeah, the more school he misses, the harder it's going to be for him to stay up to, keep up to date and keep his mind concentrated. Because if he falls behind, like let's say in math with some of the concepts, he's going to have a hell of a time trying to work when he gets back, do the current work, because as we all know, in this grade level, he's in 7th grade, math is based on, it's a building block type of thing. What you learned today is based on what you learned yesterday. And if he misses out on today, then what he's going to learn tomorrow is going to go right over his head because he didn't learn what they learned yesterday. So I'm hoping that this won't keep him out of school for very long, and I'm hoping that he won't get too sick. And I'm hoping that this is just the flu or a cold or something like that. Because, the cold and the flu still are out there. It doesn't always have to be the big one that you're sick with. Hopefully it's just one of those other two. So Maddie was supposed to come home tomorrow, and I don't think she's going to. If Nate does test positive, I'm telling her that she might as well come home anyway, because what would the difference be? You know what I mean? I'm going to be in the house with Nate, and if Nate's positive, what difference would it be if I would, than being here with her too? So she may come home. If Nate's positive, she'll probably come home. If he's negative, she'll definitely stay home. But if she does come home this weekend, we are definitely going to go live on Saturday night at 9 o'clock after Mindy's live. If she doesn't come home, I don't know, I'll think about it. I'm a little bit shy about doing it on my own. I'm not sure that I can entertain. I don't know. I guess I like having that safety net of having Maddie around, and I'm not sure that I don't have the confidence in myself that I can do it by myself. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get up the courage and just do it. What else is going on? Plans coming up. Do I got anything coming up? Oh, I think I told you guys that Emily and her husband sold their house. Not only did they sell their house, but they are already out of their house. And this past week, they went down to Tennessee and took a truck and trailer load full of their possessions. They have part of their stuff is in storage here in Michigan, what they couldn't fit on the truck and trailer. And they took one load down, signed the lease. They're going to just rent there an apartment, and they signed the lease on their apartment and are moving in, what they took down with them. Then they're going to be coming back up here, and they're going to have a going away party, which I couldn't believe it. They did a Facebook invitations for the going away party. They've invited like 95 people. They've rented a hall and everything. So and that's like most of the people that have responded that they are going. They just have so many friends and family. And I just think, I respect them, and that they need to spread their wings and go their own way, and they're adults, and I'm okay with their move, much more okay with it than I was when they announced it. But on the same hand, I'm really, really, really going to miss them, and it's really sad to think about them leaving. I'm going to miss my granddaughters so, so much. They're just such a big part of our hearts that, we're really going to miss them. We're really going to miss them a ton. So right now they are in, my son-in-law's mother lives in Florida. So while my daughter and her husband are moving, the girls went to Florida to stay with his mom for a little vacation so that Emily and Nick could move more easily without having the girls. Now, I could have taken care of them too, but Emily knows that as much as I love them, I don't know if I could have taken them for a full 6 days, like what they're gone for. I don't. I love them, but I don't know if I got 6. I'm just being honest. I don't know if I've got 6 days worth in me. But so they flew for the first time. The girls did. So they were really excited about that, about flying in a plane for the first time, and they really enjoyed it. They loved flying. So now they want to fly apparently every place they go. They want to know if they're going to go in the plane. So, and apparently it's pretty cheap from Nashville to Florida. Emily got a flight one way, of course, but for $24. It's like, where do people find deals like that? Whenever I want to do something or go somewhere, it's always hundreds. I'm not looking in the right place or something. But she managed to find, like I said, a one-way flight. What she's going to do is she's going to fly down there and stay for a little while down there with them, and then fly back to Nashville with them. No, fly back to Michigan with them. So she's going to fly down there from Nashville and then fly back to Michigan with them so that they're here in time for the party. Their party was supposed to be this weekend, but they decided to extend their stay in Florida and decided to stay in Nashville a little bit longer. So they moved their party to a week from this Saturday, which is fine, but I don't know. I miss them. I want to see them. That's a long time for them to be gone. So, but I'm kind of glad that it worked out that way with Maddie being sick, because if it would have been this weekend, Maddie wouldn't have been able to come because of being, positive or whatever, having tested positive. So with it being an extra week out, that'll give her some time to recover, and she'll be able to go to the party too. So that's actually, it probably turned out for the best. Probably all turned out for the best. But I did give her, I had made her and the two girls I had crocheted them each hats. So when Emily came over, she picked up the hats that I had made for them, and she loved them. So that worked out nicely. And what else is going on? Other than that, I haven't done jack crap. I've just been crafting as usual. Let me know what you guys are doing, how you've been, what you're working on. I love hearing from you, and I love catching up with you when you, whoops, I hit my button. I hate that. That's the one thing about light pads, is I tend to lay my arm up here and hit the button. And this is like a stepless, what is the word I'm looking for? Range as far as light to dark, stepless fade, I guess, of brightness. Yeah, stepless brightness is what I'm trying to say. Jeez, talk much, Ange? And so it took me a minute from my hand laying there before I realized, geez, I can't see anymore. What is going on? Oh my goodness, that's one thing I noticed. I was driving when I went down to meet Mindy, and I desperately need to go to the eye doctor. I haven't been on a big trip since our Missouri trip for the retreat, which was a big trip. But I don't drive, distances all that often, and I don't drive in the evening or at night very often. And I was coming home, it was getting dark out on Tuesday. My vision is absolutely terrible. My distance vision is like borderline scary. Like, I really, really, really need to go and get an exam. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, as soon as I'm done with this video, I think I'm going to call the eye doctor and make an appointment. I don't know if it's age or what's happening, but it seems like it's something that's happened all of the sudden. Like it wasn't like a gradual thing. It's like one day I could see and the next day I couldn't. So I don't know what's going on with that. Very, very mysterious. I'm going to definitely bring it up to the eye doctor when I go in, and I'm sure that he'll notice, if my prescription has changed a ton, because it hasn't been that long since I've been there. It's only our insurance pays for an exam and new frames and lenses every 2 years, and it's gotta be just exactly the 2 years. I think actually my 2 years might not even be up yet. It might not be up until February, but we'll see. They'll be able to tell me when I call. But I definitely need to see what's going on because something bad's happening with my eyes. I am getting old all of a sudden or something. Trust me, I've been feeling older and older lately. My birthday's coming up. My birthday is January 26th. So I don't know what day of the week that falls on. I should do something fun on my birthday. Maybe I'll do a live or something on my birthday just to have something to do. We don't really celebrate birthdays around the house here, so it's not like I'll be taking time away from my family or anything because we don't really do that. But maybe I'll go live. That would be a fun thing to do. I'll have to see what day of the week that falls on and see see if that's something that's possible. If it falls on a Thursday, that might be a lot of talking to do all in one day. I can figure it out. I got a lot of stuff I can talk about. Oh, the chickens. The poor chickens, you guys. It has been so stinking cold here. Now, yesterday and today, not bad, in the 30s Fahrenheit. But before that, the weekend and the beginning of the week, we're talking in the negatives and up to like the teens. It has been cold, 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 cold. And even though we do have a heated chicken coop, it's not insulated or anything. And they do have their little door that goes to their run that stays open all the time. So it is not toasty. I mean, the heat takes the edge off for them, but I'm sure when it gets into the negatives, they're still pretty chilly. Now we do feed them corn especially in the winter. We make sure we feed them corn because I don't know if you know this, but corn actually generates heat in the process of digestion. At least I don't know if it does that for humans, but for chickens, the process of digesting corn generates heat. So we always make sure that we feed them corn in the winter to supplement their food. Their egg production has pretty much slowed. It's not stopped, but it has slowed for sure, which is not uncommon in the winter. I don't know if you know this either, but a chicken's egg laying routine is completely dependent on the number of hours of daylight that they get. So the more, if you supplement your coop with artificial light, you can not reduce your egg production year round. You know what I mean? If as long as they have the same number of hours of daylight every day, they'll keep producing eggs year round in the same productivity rate as summer. So yeah, a little bit of chicken trivia for you there, as if you really cared. But, just a couple interesting factoids. Nate and I were looking at games yesterday when we were at Barnes & Noble, and there was one game that I wanted to buy so bad. It was called something about useless information, and it was all about useless trivia. And I wanted it so bad. I love just useless information and useless trivia. I find all of that stuff so interesting. Just all those little tidbits that you have absolutely no use for in your daily life, but it's still interesting to know. Is anybody else like that? You just like knowing little facts? Or are you a person who, if it doesn't pertain to your life, you don't care about it? Yeah, I'm one of those people who I love all those annoying little factoids, even if they have nothing to do at all with my life. I like to hear about everything. So I better go see what Jeff's getting up to. I better go check on Nate and get him some more Motrin and check his temp, get him some more Motrin, and make sure that Jeff is not still taking a nap, because when I left him, he was taking a nap when I came in to do this. So I am going to leave you guys. Don't forget to comment on the video and tell me about what you're working on. You don't have to go into specifics or anything. Just tell me how it's going, you know, and if you're enjoying working on it, and just something about what you're doing. That's all. And then I will be pulling my winner next Thursday for that prize. And don't forget to also go into the Facebook group Diamonds, Moments, and Crafts and enter your answer to the extra credit question for week 2, which is, what song is number 1 on your playlist and why that song, while you're resting and relaxing and enjoying the view at your painting location, diamond painting location. Boy, oh boy, that's a mouthful of stuff to say. All right, you guys. I had a good time chatting with you. It was nice to talk to somebody other than boys. And I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying warm if you're in the throes of winter like me. And I will talk to you guys all in my next video. I've got tons of videos that need to go up. I'm just backlogged with stuff to unbag and unbox. Just so much stuff. And so hopefully you'll get a video every day from me this week. And if not, it's just because I either got sick or I got lazy. But let's hope that neither of those things happen. I'm going to try to stay the course. Stay the course. All right, you guys. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.